What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And how is everybody doing today? My day has been kind of strange so far. I woke up to find a bunch of puke in my sink. A friend of mine puked in the sink. Pretty gross. I had to clean that up. And then, sorry about that, guys. I just had to share that with you. It was pretty disgusting. A grown person that puked in my sink and didn't clean it up. So I forgive you, though, friend, if you're watching. I don't mind. I'm not going to tell who it is, but yeah, someone puked in my sink and didn't clean it up. And then my internet, I already streamed once today, and like 20 to 25 minutes into the stream, my internet just stops working at all. And then the freaking robot on the Xfinity website freaking really wouldn't let me talk to a live person, so I'm like getting mad at this robot. Oh man, what a day! What a day! But let's get into the charts, right? What is going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum today? What is going on in crypto? Well, we're gonna find out. There's actually a lot of interesting stuff going on that you wouldn't believe. So let's actually move out to the 1 day, and I want to show you something that I see in the 1 day, and it is right here. You see this? A nice cup and handle. So what a cup and handle is a peak and then a drop and then sideways or down and then a rise back up to the original peak and then a dip down is the handle. So this is the cut part and then this is the handle part. So now if we break above this resistance now, we are going to go to the top of the peak. And the cool thing about this, and I wish I could show you on a better level, but if you take the top of the handle to the bottom of the handle right here, and then you move it up here, look exactly where it goes. And if you guys didn't know, that's the 200-day moving average. So this cup and handle pattern playing out exactly would bring us right above the 200-day moving average to 44,741. And look at here, it's at 44,860, right above the 200 daily moving average. So this is awesome. I hope this pattern plays out the way that it looks like it's going to. It's really hard to call right now, especially the way the cup and handle pattern is. It's kind of sketchy looking, but it's actually pretty straight across too. So I'm gonna think that this is possibly gonna be valid. This looks like a valid cup and handle pattern to me, and the place that it's going is freaking amazing. So right here above the 200-day moving average. This would be perfect for the future and the next phase of Bitcoin, right? So, yeah, it's looking awesome. I just saw that in there when I was doing the first video that I did today that, I had to erase. But this is awesome. This is pretty cool. And I think this could possibly play out. We are right now holding firm at this support line right here. There is definite support at the level that we're at right here. If you can see here and here, we bounced off of it. We went right, below it there. And this has been a huge level of resistance and support as well. So it's resistance turns support. Look, it was resistance here and now it's support over here. So these are the things you got to look at for, is Bitcoin going to continue going up or are we going all the way back down? Now, you could look at this as a double peak, a double top over here, which it kind of is. And that's why you in the cup and handle pattern, you get a down tracement because it is kind of like a double top. But it's normally just a little tiny correction before a blast off. So that's still what we're hoping for. That's what we've said the entire time. Stuff can happen in between those times that you predict. But you got to keep an eye out on the macro view, right? And we actually also have an ascending triangle in the daily as well. So we have a continuation pattern as well as a cup and handle pattern. So we got to keep an eye on this. It is a crucial time in Bitcoin right now. But, dun dun dun, Ethereum, Ethereum, Ethereum. There should be an Ethereum song, bro. Ethereum, like Footloose, Ethereum. Get it. Okay, so with Ethereum, they're look at that giant W right here. Look at that. Bloop bloop W, and you could even say that this is a possible cup and handle pattern over here, because that looks like it as well. So Ethereum has a possible cup and handle pattern too, except we don't have a handle yet. We don't even have the starting of a handle because it keeps going up. Ethereum has been on a tear. Look at all these freaking green candles in a row. And on some exchanges, this is a green one too. So it says we have 11 daily candles, or 12. I'm not 100% sure. But we are getting kind of oversold, way oversold on the RSI on the daily. We're at 72. That, yeah, Ethereum is set, ready for a retracement here pretty soon, guys. Just to let you know, I don't want to say that. I hope it keeps going. I hope the RSI, is wrong this time. Let's hope. And Ethereum just keeps blasting off to the moon, baby. Let's go, Ethereum. We got this. But I do see a cup and handle pattern that could play out if we go down a little bit and then before we head back up. And that would be an awesome thing. That would bring us above the 2,750 resistance that we're at. So there's a reason that we're stuck at certain levels. We have a resistance point that holds us back. But then we also have a support line. So we hit resistance up here. Here's resistance. We hit that, boop. But then we also hit support down here. It goes down, boop. And then it's like ping pong, like pong, remember? Boop, 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 boop. Well, boop, 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 like pong, And that's what it does. That's what resistance and support is. It's like a game of pong, you know? So it looks pretty good, though. I want to show you this because we're talking about how good Ethereum has been doing, right? Well, look at that. Blast off. Record daily winning streak. And it is just doing amazing. So Ether prints record winning streak as London hard fork looms. Ether has notched a 12-day winning streak, the longest ever. Ether looks to extend its record daily winning streak in the run up to a planned upgrade on Ethereum's blockchain that could significantly reduce the cryptocurrency's supply growth. And why it will do that is because it's going to introduce burning to Ethereum. And what burning is, if you didn't know, which most of you probably do by now, what it does is it takes some of the tokens used for gas or whatever, and it destroys them. It basically takes it and it burns it out of existence. It puts it into actually a burned wallet, and it's a wallet that can never be opened again. It's basically like a trash can, a one-way trash compactor. And you can never, nobody can, no one, not even the biggest hacker in the world can open it because it's just a locked system. And it's like burning, like they don't exist anymore. It's putting it into a black hole, basically, and locking the door. And nobody has the key, not even you. So, yeah. Uh, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap was trading 1.6% higher on the day, near $2,600 at press time, having rallied 43% over an unbroken string of 12 straight daily price gains, according to Coinbase data. So it's not saying it was 12 daily candles, but it was saying 12 daily price gains, which would be green candles, right? Oh gosh. Ether has notched a 12-day winning streak, the longest ever, blockchain analytics firm Into the Block tweeted earlier today, citing 2,598 and 2,753 as key resistance levels on the path towards 3,000. Well, we just blasted past 2598, and now the next one's at 2753. So aside from Bitcoin's price recovery from 30K to 40K, Ether has received a boost from Ethereum's upcoming 11th backward incompatible upgrade, or hard fork, slated to happen on August 4th. That's like Wednesday. So that's in a couple days from now. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on here on the channel about. I will definitely do a video about the London hard fork coming and how it is going to affect Bitcoin, or I mean Ethereum, in the future, and see what up. So the upgrade may bring Ether a store of value or deflationary asset appeal in the eyes of some investors, a narrative so far largely focused on Bitcoin. The top cryptocurrency supply is capped at 21 million, and its per block issuance is reduced by 50% every 4 years. Under simulations run by Dune Analytics, the upgrade would have burned more than 2.9 million coins in 365 days if implemented a year ago, amounting to over 70% net reduction in supply growth. The highly anticipated Ethereum London hard fork event will expose users to a more flexible and cheaper fee structure and introduce a mild burn effect, built to make Ether deflationary. Greg Weisman, co-founder and COO at the global payment network Mercurio, said the coin has trailed an uptrend from the weekend, and we may see this brewing positive sentiment over the coin shoot its price to $3,000 in the coming days following weeks following the update. Now that I don't know if that's going to happen right away. We might see a brief fallback in the price, because whenever hard forks happen, either they go down really quickly right away or they go up really quickly right away. Okay, or we could see it gradually increase over time, which normally doesn't happen. But we have to keep all options open to us because this is an unprecedented event, which means we haven't had this happen before. So there is no data to say, hey, this is what's going to happen. We can use what happens with other upgrades in the system, to kind of look back and say, hey, this is what normally happened with other upgrades. But this one has never introduced something like a burn, to Ethereum, which I don't really agree with 100%. I think it should cap the price at a certain supply. If it isn't already. I think it is capped. But I think it should be a lot like Bitcoin and, have supply and demand built into it. So I'm not 100% sure how it is different from Bitcoin in that aspect. I would like to learn about that, and I'm probably going to. If you guys know about that, let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for an awesome person to chat with. If you are a lucky person, I might just check out one of your websites. I might check out or even promote, your content, your YouTube, whatever on my channel, because we're growing so fast and just blowing up. This channel is freaking doing amazing. I wasn't expecting this much interest in me or my channel at all. I was just trying to help people know about Bitcoin and to make money doing that with me. I'm the type of person, I don't like to make money just by myself. I like it when my friends, my family, or even complete strangers can make money with me. I don't care, guys. Let's do it together. Like, we're humanity. Humanity means plural people. We're not just human. Human is what you are before you become an adult. Humanity is what you become after you turn 18. Right? Human is just you're living for yourself. You have to make yourself right before you can do anything for anybody else. So you live your life up to 18, learning how to become yourself. And not that that stops after you turn 18, but once you turn 18, now you have to figure out yourself and how yourself fits into society on a macro view, right? And then you have your hobbies, and now you got to figure out how your hobbies intersect with society's hobbies. All right? And if they don't, that's okay. Start your own circle. Become your own hobby. And that's what we're doing here on the Bitcoin Renegade channel. Yeah, have I learned from other crypto YouTubers? Definitely. I've learned from Call from the Moon. I've learned from Cryptos R Us. I've learned from Crypto Zombie, even though I don't watch his stuff anymore. I've learned from MM Crypto, and I absolutely won't watch his stuff anymore. I've learned from Da Vinci. I've learned from Drogon Crypto. And guess what? I've learned a lot from my Bitcoin Renegades. You guys are the best community in all of YouTube, guaranteed. We have the best, most interactive, probably the most kind-hearted community of any community in the entire web and YouTube algorithm, mainly. Because we're not that big on Twitter yet. We're not that big on Telegram. Our channel is not that big on Facebook yet. That one's doing okay. And Twitter's doing okay. Telegram, it's a lot harder to grow a community in Telegram, but that's where we're going to go and talk. That's where I share my videos with you. That's where, we do a lot of things on Telegram, but I wanted to more be a chat room for you guys instead of overflowing it with all of my videos and my links. You guys can get those elsewhere. So I think I'm not going to use Telegram as much. You notice I don't put every one of my videos in Telegram because I don't want to bombard it with just me, right? And sometimes I'm only able to go in there for a minute. My life is so busy right now, guys, that it's hard for me to keep up with all the conversation. I'm doing my best, and I've done good so far. But I always make sure if you really want to get my attention, and I haven't got a hold of you on any of the other platforms, YouTube is the only, and Twitter. YouTube and Twitter are the only ones that I have notifications set up. Okay, so, and most of the time I don't see them on Twitter, but I always see them on YouTube if you have a public account. Now, if you leave a public comment and you really want to get my attention, that's how you do it on YouTube, because it pops up right on my phone. I can see whether I'm live streaming, whether I'm on my phone looking at the prices, whatever I'm doing, I can tell, hey, someone needs to talk to me. They just got a hold of me on my YouTube. Boom. Then we can go chat elsewhere. So if you ever need to get my attention, just say something on the YouTube comments, and that will pretty much instantaneously get my attention if I'm not really, really busy. So just know that if you're trying to contact me and I don't get back to you, I'm not ignoring you. I will get to you. I always get back to you guys. That is one of my main things that I try to answer every single one of you guys. And I'm going to try to do that when we become huge. That's going to be more of a challenge because it's starting to get harder as we go now. But I'm going to definitely interact with my original peeps. If I see you in the comments, especially even if there's a million comments, I'm going to look for my original peeps. Hungry Coronavirus Bitcoin Hunter. I don't know what your name is on YouTube. You told me once, but I'm just going to shout you out because you're always talking positive about my channel in Express Crypto. You guys get over there to Express Crypto. That's how you can make Bitcoin. You get free Bitcoin by doing short links. Be careful on short links because they have a lot of pop-up ads and pop-ups that redirect you. And if you don't know what you're doing, you could get a virus on your phone with short links. Now, learn what you're doing before you do short links if you're going to do them. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't know what you're doing. Surveys, they're amazing. You can make a lot of money depending on what country you're in. A lot of countries don't do surveys, but if you're my US fan base, you can take surveys on Express Crypto and you can earn anywhere from like 40 cents to $2 a survey, anywhere from 1 to 20-minute surveys. And you can make it in Bitcoin. Then when Bitcoin goes up, the money that you made in the survey goes up if you keep it in Bitcoin, and then you make more. So some of the surveys I was taking at $8,000 Bitcoin, I still have, and they're worth like $40,000 Bitcoin. So 5 times the amount what they were worth now. So say I got $10 worth of Bitcoin. Well, now it's worth 50 bucks, right? Say I got $100 worth of Bitcoin. Now it's worth 500 bucks. Say I got $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now it's worth $5,000. So the more you put in, the more you make, right? And that's why I'm doing the way that I'm doing it. I'm showing you guys. So I did also want to go over a little bit of news with you guys here about Square. This was very interesting to me because this shows another positive aspect of crypto, Bitcoin, and our price targets, right? These are huge in deciding where the market's going to go in the near to long-term future. So Square customers spend $2.7 billion on Bitcoin in quarter two. $2.7 billion. Now, that might not sound a lot when you hear MicroStrategy buying this much Bitcoin, but that is a huge amount. That's almost like probably 80,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. Square's quarter two reports revealed the complications of working with Bitcoin's volatility, as well as a $29 billion fintech acquisition. Wow. Jack Dorsey's digital payments firm Square has reported a total Bitcoin revenue of $2.72 billion in quarter two 2021. That's how much they made from Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the company suffered an impairment loss of $45 million on its own Bitcoin investments. What? How? Did they buy when the market was way up? I mean, this shows you that the market's going to go up. They're not losing money. They're not going to. Guarantee you that. That's probably why the price went up so high. They were just accumulating more at the bottom. Right now, they're in the profit, guaranteed. Digital payments company Square, led by Twitter founder and CEO Jack Dorsey. You know, we've made videos about him in the B word conference. Yeah, the conference. That's the one. See, I told you my brain thinks fast, really fast. I had like 100 words in my head right at that second, all ready to pick in a line. You know, you can imagine like one of those like selection things where you have the word in the box and then you go up and there's another word and then it goes up, there's another word and it goes in the box. You know what I'm talking about? That's like my brain. You got the one word and then it flows through all the words and then boom, we landed on the right one and then that's what comes out. It's like a lottery. Oh my gosh. Anyway, uh, of its Cash App brought 2.7 billion worth of Bitcoin during quarter two. Okay. Well, if they bought that much and they lost 45 million, yeah, that sucks. Up approximately 3x year over year, Bitcoin gross profit was only 55 million, approximately 2% of Bitcoin revenue, Square stated in its shareholder letter published late yesterday. So, this is good news because now they're starting to get in the profit a little bit. The way they word this, I'm not 100% sure because it says they lost 45 million here, but it's saying they have a gross profit of 55 million here. So I don't know. Meanwhile, the company suffered an impairment loss. What does that mean? So what I think this means is Square was holding their own Bitcoin, not the stuff that they're selling. I think they bought maybe for their investor shareholders, like MicroStrategy did. This isn't the Bitcoin they use on Cash App, right? This is the Bitcoin that they're talking about, their total investment. On its own Bitcoin investment, not the one they use to sell. So I think those are two different things. They have the Bitcoin that they're selling for Cash App, and then the Bitcoin they're holding for their company. So I think the one that they're holding for their company lost 45 million because they were just holding, and the stuff that they profited off of with Cash App, or maybe that's backwards. Maybe they lost 45 on Cash App and they made 55 million holding. I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't really give us enough information to know that. Covered an impairment loss of 45 million, and then it says in the second quarter up approximately 3 times over the year. Gross profit. So the gross profit, 2% of the Bitcoin revenue. Okay, whatever, dude. You guys make it a little bit more clear, please. Okay, well, I'm not going to go more into this because it starts saying more stuff. Reported a Bitcoin gross profit of 75 million on total Bitcoin. That was the first quarter. Okay, so now we're talking about a different quarter. Okay, notably offset by the crypto market collapse in mid-May when the price of mini was stopped by roughly 50% across the board. Okay, yeah, so there was a lot that happened and why they lost money. It wasn't just because they bought; it was because of the dip that happened. And when they ended up, coming out of the dip, and when they disclosed the quarter two, didn't happen at the same time, so they were still down. Now they're almost definitely in the profit. Yeah. So, all right, guys. I know I probably forgot stuff from the first part of the video that I was actually going to show you. Just keep an eye on these price targets, all right? So keep an eye on 2570 for Ethereum and keep an eye on 2750. Those are the two levels 2570 and 2750. Pretty easy to remember, right? And if it breaks down between either of those levels, that's the way Ethereum's going to go. Now, which way do I think it's going to go? I think we're definitely due for a retracement. I'm sorry. We have to go probably back down to 2400, 2400. I think we have to reset. I really do. It's due for a retracement, and then another blast off. So a fake out, shake out before the breakout. That's what's going to happen. And let's go back to Bitcoin for a second. Last analysis of Bitcoin, 39.3. Ooh. Yeah, we're breaking. So if we break much lower, we're kind of in trouble, guys. Yeah. So this cup and handle, we needed to go back up for it to play out, right? So we definitely have to keep an eye on that. This cup and handle pattern is looking very sexy, if you ask me. And we're not oversold on the RSI on the daily. We're at 61. We are so much undersold right now. It doesn't make sense why we're down, right? The beginning of the week, everything is looking amazing. Ethereum is freaking doing awesome. You know, the future of Bitcoin is looking pretty spectacular, in my opinion. So we're getting it. We're going to keep an eye out for the cup and handle to bring us up to this 44,000 marker. And you know, into the future, into the next phase of the Bitcoin bull cycle. Okay, one other thing I wanted to touch on that I told you about in my past videos was the 3-peak in the domed house. Now, this was Kevin Spinson's idea. I'm not going to take credit for it because it wasn't my idea. But I see these three as the peak. He saw these three, this one, and this one. But if you look at the 3 peaks in the domed house, it has a continuous upward trend with the 3 peaks. The third peak is always the highest. Well, this one's lower than that one, so this could not be the third peak. So if the 3 peak in the domed house was going to play out, it would be 1 peak, 2 peaks. Okay, hold on. Sorry, stuff likes to get in my way. 2 peaks, 3 peaks, and then we have the drop, and then I don't know what they call this, but this is definitely in there. And then we have another smaller peak after a drop, which happens in each one of them. And then the last, you know, before the basement. So then we go down to the basement. This is exactly what this pattern says it does. And then it goes into the basement. We stay in the basement for a while, and then now we're moving up to the first floor. Now that's where we're at right now. We're sitting at the first floor. And what that is going to look like is this. So now we can go down a little bit, right? And then up and turn this 200-day moving average into support. Whoops. Sorry, that's not what that's going to look like. Got a little ahead of myself there. It's going to look like this. It's going to go down a little bit right now. And then boom. And then we're going to touch that, turn it into support. Make sure, again, really turn it into support. And then maybe even one more time. And then we blast off. And then we have this happen. And then we have this. And then this. Okay, this is what we're looking at still. This is the pattern that I believe is going to play out. And this is a super pattern called 3 peaks and a domed house. Now, this is the domed house up here. This is the everything. Now, I want it to be at 112,000, right? 112,000 right here. This is where I think the top is going to be, right here. So that's my prediction. Okay, so let's just imagine it here instead of all the way up there. Okay, and then it'll go down. And then another kind of this right here. It's supposed to look like this. That's what this one was supposed to look like. So it didn't go down far enough here. Let's change that. So it's supposed to kind of look like that. And then, yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. And then it's just going to go all the way back down to 20,000, to the previous all-time high, right here at $20,000. So that's where that one's going to hit, right? So 20,000. That's my prediction for the Bitcoin price. Okay. So that's what I think is going to happen. That is what looks like it's still playing out right now in the macro view. So we'll see. 3 peaks in a domed house. Shout out Kevin Svensson Crypto. All right, guys. That being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin.